Debunking Financial Myths with Robert Kiyosaki. Is debt the secret to wealth? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a topic that might challenge some traditional beliefs about debt, and who better to guide us through this financial maze than the legendary Robert Kiyosaki, the man behind the eye-opening book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now before we dive in, let me set the stage. Rich Dad, as mentioned in Kiyosaki's book, is actually the father of his best friend. This rich dad accumulated wealth through entrepreneurship and smart investments. On the flip side, we have Kiyosaki's poor dad, his natural father, who, as he claims, worked hard all his life but struggled to achieve financial security. Now, we've all grown up hearing the mantra, debt is bad, right? But what if I told you that Robert Kiyosaki's rich dad had a slightly different take? Robert Kiyosaki used a credit card to finance his first investment property in Hawaii. Can you imagine the reaction from his poor dad? Why take such a risk? He asked. But here's the twist. The investment wasn't a risk at all. With the rental income, Robert covered his credit card payments and had some extra cash in his pocket each month. On the flip side, poor dad spent his life avoiding debt, using credit only in emergencies. His philosophy? That is what credit cards are for. He worked hard to pay off his mortgage and believed in saving up to buy things in cash whenever possible. But Robert's rich dad, the one who played a pivotal role in shaping his financial mindset, said, "Some debt is bad, but some debt is good too." It's all about context, according to Rich Dad. Debt itself is neutral. It's how you use it, and in what circumstances that determine if it's good or bad debt. Now you might be wondering, what exactly is bad debt? Let's break it down. Good debt versus bad debt. Fast forward to today, and many of us are still living by the old rules, saving money, getting a good job, buying a house, and investing in the stock market. But here's the kicker. As the Fed prints more money, savings lose value. Jobs aren't as secure as they used to be, and a house is not the asset we thought it was. Debt is universally bad. But wait, is it really? Understanding the difference between good debt and bad debt involves grasping the concept of assets versus liabilities. An asset puts money in your pocket each month, while a liability takes money out. It's all about context, folks. Consider a truck. If it's your personal vehicle, it's a liability. Expenses like loan payments, maintenance, taxes, and insurance take money out of your pocket. But imagine that same truck used for business, making you money each month. Suddenly, it becomes an asset because it's putting money in your pocket. A loan for the truck is a personal vehicle, bad debt, because it's in service to a liability. But a loan for a business truck that generates income, that's good debt, enabling you to obtain an asset. Why is bad debt risky? So, Rich Dad hears Poor Dad saying credit cards are only for emergencies, and he can't help but chuckle. To him, taking on debt only in emergencies is the worst kind. It's funny to me that people think taking on debt in an emergency isn't risky, but that taking on debt for investing is, he said. Rich Dad believes that relying on emergency debt signals poor financial intelligence. It indicates living paycheck to paycheck, having few assets, and potentially many liabilities. According to Rich Dad, bad debt is the riskiest of them all. The twist? Most people think it's necessary debt, while avoiding all other forms of debt. Follow the money, he insists. Why does the financial industry want people to only take on bad debt? The answer lies in the fact that those already in financial trouble, needing emergency loans, are likely to continue paying interest for years. Both Rich Dad and Poor Dad agree on one thing. Buying liabilities like cars and TVs with cash is wise. Rich Dad, however, believes in using good debt to create cash for those purchases, while Poor Dad only resorts to debt in emergencies. The power of good debt. Now let's define good debt a little more. It's debt that puts money into your pocket instead of taking it out. Take a business deal, for instance. A financially intelligent investor ensures that the cash flow from the deal covers their debt payment, expenses, and provides a good return. Good debt allows you to leverage your existing cash into multiple assets. In real estate, for example, you can use debt to buy properties. The bank lends you 80% of the purchase price, and you only need to invest 20%. If you find a deal that covers the interest on the 80% while providing a decent return on your 20%, you're in business. The beauty of good debt lies in its power to create more income. You can reinvest in more assets or treat yourself to something nice, knowing more cash is on the way from your investments. The rich used good debt to get richer in 2008. Fast forward to the Great Recession in 2008. While most people were tightening their belts and saving money, the financially intelligent were doing something else. making money and borrowing more of it. Why? Because interest rates were at historic lows and assets were practically on sale. The financially intelligent grasped the opportunity to borrow money at cheap rates and invest in assets that not only covered their debt payments and expenses, but also put money in their pockets every month. Individual investors and large companies alike embraced good debt during this time. As reported by the Wall Street Journal in 2011, banks lent $66.6 billion in 5-year U.S. corporate investment-grade loans, almost 25 times the amount for the same period the previous year. Translation: money was cheap and companies stocked up on it. Take Robert Kiyosaki's rich dad real estate advisor, Ken McElroy, for example. Together with Kiyosaki, they seized the opportunity to buy multifamily properties in prime markets using cheap debt, specifically Freddie and Fannie loans. These government-backed loans aim to encourage investors to provide affordable housing. Now, over a decade later, those properties have sold for many times their initial purchase price, and the returns are being actively reinvested in even bigger deals. Thanks for joining our financial journey with Robert Kiyosaki. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. By subscribing, you'll stay updated on all our latest financial insights and strategies to help you unlock wealth and financial freedom. Now, before you go, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on good debt? Have you had any experiences, good or bad, with leveraging debt for investments? Share your insights. We love hearing from the community. As always, stay financially savvy, stay empowered, and we'll catch you in the next video. Until then, take care.